Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Friday, July the 31st. Race number 9 at Saratoga. It's the Coronation Cup. Some nice turf sprinters going 5.5 furlongs this race for 3-year-old fillies. Before we get to the analysis, let me remind you to head on over to the DRF.com extensive handicapping analysis page for Saratoga. Go to drf.com/spa, get PP's picks, clocker reports, betting strategies, and all the must-have tools to win big at Saratoga. Here's the field for Friday's race of the day, the Coronation Cup. You can download free formulator past performances for this race on the race of the day event page at drf.com. Access them, handicap along with us. The 9, she's my type, 3-1 on the morning line, Mike, but you can go so many different ways in this race. You could tell that David Aragona had trouble with this morning line. 3-1, it is a wide open and tepid favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly looked at the race that way, Dan. I thought it was really tough. I thought a lot of different horses can win. I guess, ultimately my only, real decision that I wound up making was that I just wouldn't take a short price on anybody in here. We'll see how they wind up betting it at post time.
Well, let's take a look at the Timeform US pace projector for this race. This race might not feature the typical Timeform US red bar scenario, which would indicate a fast pace, but it looks contested with the 2, the 6, and the 8 out there on the lead. My personal feeling is that Carrick, the number 2, is the speed of the speed.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I mean, I guess we'll see how we play it. Both the 2 and the 8 are trained by Wesley Ward. We'll see if those 2 horses really want to get involved early. I know that the 6 Bradenberry does have tactical speed that I really didn't see her, being part of a contested pace in this race.
Well, the number 1, always in the money, is going to try turf for the first time. This horse, a Texas bred, has won her last 2 races by a combined 16.5 lengths. She certainly deserves her chance against the big girls, but she's going to try turf for the first time. She's by Munnings, 10% winners with first-time turf runners, and there's a little bit of turf in this pedigree. The Dam's thrown a stakes-place turf runner and a couple of other turf winners, so I think there's enough grass pedigree. It's all a question of whether she's good enough.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, certainly her dirt form recently anyway has really improved. If you think she's going to be able to transfer that over to turf, you might want to take a shot. I mean, she's not one of those horses, Dan, who is going to switch over here and be a short price in this race. So if you like her, there is enough turf pedigree. I can see taking a shot with her, I guess.
As a 2-year-old, Carrack beat Males in the Tyro Stakes, going 5/8 of a mile at Monmouth. She is also a stakes winner this year at Turfway Park, winning a kind of weak edition of the Cincinnati Trophy. Her last race, kind of a throwout on the dirt. She's shown good ability sprinting on the grass, and she's going to be right in the thick of things when they turn into the lane.
Yeah, I thought she was a major player in here. Her turf sprint form is actually pretty good. The last time she ran on turf, she hasn't run on it this year yet. Back in November in that Stewart Manor, she was behind a couple of these same rivals, but I thought she ran really well that day, Dan. That was a really fast pace. She made the first run at it, 3 wide on the turn, took over in the stretch. The closers came and got her at the end, but she ran an underrated race that day, I thought.
Let's watch the Stewart Manor, because Fly So Pretty, the next door neighbor of Carrack, the number 3 in the Coronation Cup, she might have been the one to really benefit from the fast pace up front. She's going to come with a good late run to win this race. And what's notable perhaps about this race is it produced 5 next out winners. Not only Carrack in the Cincinnati Trophy, but the 4th place finisher came back to win the Grade 2 Appalachian at Keeneland with an 88 buyer. So this was a live race, and Fly So Pretty ran well over this course last year.
Yeah, I mean, she did. I mean, all 3 of her turf sprints last year as a 2-year-old were pretty good. I mean, certainly she took advantage in that Stewart Manor we just watched. She got a great trip in that race. The pace was really fast, and she came and closed it down at the end. She still ran well, Dan, and she still has more upside as well.
Miss J. McKay was second in the Stewart Manor, another horse coming from off the pace that day. She's going to make her second start off of a lengthy layoff for Mid-Atlantic-based trainer Cal Lynch. I'm not sure the Lady Shipman, won by Bradenberry, was a great race, but I think maybe if you want one out of it, it could be Miss J. McKay, simply because she might have been just a little bit short.
Yeah, I mean, that certainly would be willing to give her the benefit of the doubt in here. She just, to me, in that race, didn't look sharp at all. She didn't run terribly, but she never looked like she was going to win. I just sort of felt like maybe she needed that race. Certainly, if you go back to her 3 turf sprints as a 2-year-old, I mean, she looked pretty good to me in all of those races, Dan. If she takes a step forward, second off the layup, I think she'll be tough in here.
Shippey has shown a lot of talent on dirt. She's a stakes winner on the main track, grade 3 placed, and her one and only turf effort was a good one back at Gulfstream. Let's watch that race on April the 17th. Shippey is a horse with nice tactical speed, and she's going to come running in here. Only going to get beat a nose while finishing second. A solid enough turf debut. She's probably going to have to run a little bit faster, but she's motoring in the stretch here.
Yeah, I mean, I think, certainly she got unlucky in this race. It just took her a little too long to get clear. Once she did finally get clear, she came with a good finish. I don't think if she just runs that race back, Dan, I don't think she's getting anything against this field, but you would sort of hope that she could take a step forward. Her dirt form is actually very good. We'll see if she's as good on turf.
Perhaps last time was the time for the 6 Bradenberry, who beat a couple of these in the aforementioned Lady Shipman Stakes. Let's watch that race right now. 3/4 of a mile on the inner turf. She did a little bit of chasing in here. This number 4, Chili Pettin, was able to get to the front. Bradenberry was on the chase. She makes the lead, and she holds off the late kick of both She's My Tiger and Miss J. McKay. I thought this was a solid professional performance. I can certainly understand anyone saying they want to see it again.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, but I agree with you. I thought she ran well in this race. I also felt like she just got a great trip in here because, yeah, Chili Pettin did run clear on the lead early in there, but it wasn't a blazing pace. Bradenberry just sat a perfect trip, and I thought she looked good winning it, Dan. If nothing else, she's really improved since they cut her back to sprint in her last 2 races.
Our next 2 fillies are talented runners trying turf for the first time. The 7, Lexi on the Move, won her first 2 starts on dirt at Oaklawn in pretty impressive fashion. Then she caught a wet track and a very talented Wesley Ward-trained filly named Kamari and a very talented Bill Mott-trained filly, Frank's Rocket. 2 of the better 3-year-old filly sprinters in the country over that wet track at Oaklawn. You can draw a line through that race. The question is she really a turf horse? She's by Fast Anna. It's too early to tell. Fast Anna's 1 for 24 with first-time turf runners. I'm just not sure I see a ton of turf here.
Yeah, I agree. I actually really like this horse as a dirt horse, and it would be very interesting to see what happens with her going forward, because I think she has a lot of ability that I do not want to bet her in this race on the grass. I almost just sort of wonder if Diodoro entered her here just in case it comes off the turf. If it comes off the turf, I'll probably bet her.
Artie's Princess, the number 8, is a neck away from being undefeated from 4 starts in Canada for Wesley Ward. Now, all 4 of those races have come over the Tapeta surface, including this victory on June the 6th, her first race off of a 7-month layoff, and she's on the outside. And she really had a nice trip, prompting the pace 3 wide. But once she takes over, she puts the field to bed. And the most eye-opening thing about the race was the final time, a Beyer speed figure of 88. It was only a 5-furlong synthetic race. I think she's going to take money off of this number, Mike, and we still have to see if she wants turf.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. She certainly looked good winning that race. I gave her a little extra credit, Dan, for doing it without the lead, because in her first 2 career wins, I mean, she just galloped to the front in those races and nobody could get near her. But I thought she showed, a lot of gameness in that Frost King against Colts at the end of last year. Got into a long fight in that race with the eventual winner, who actually has turned out to be pretty good. I thought she ran well that day. She came back off the layoff and ran well again. I would not take a short price on her switching to turf here, but I won't be surprised if she runs well either.
Christophe Clement's winning just about everything at Saratoga right now. He has She's My Type, the number 9. We saw her finish second in the Lady Shipman, where she came 4 wide on the turn. Bradenberry certainly got the jump on her that day. It was also She's My Type's first start off a little bit of a layoff. Now she's going to cut back to 5.5. Do you think 5.5 is a little bit sharp for this filly? Because she's going to come running late.
Yeah, I wonder. She did run well when they cut her back last time. I actually felt like out of that race, I might take her over Bradenberry. But, the way the morning line is, with her being the morning line favorite, I guess I wouldn't do that. We'll see how they bet the race. I think she's a contender in here, Dan. I just didn't want to really bet her.
Fun race, the Coronation Cup, your Friday DRF race of the day. Let's take a look at our top selections. I think Bradenberry is a horse that's still going to be a decent price. Maybe last time was the time. She does have to prove it again, but I do think she's going to be a fair price. And as the Timeform US Pace Projector shows, she has tactical speed without being a burner that's going to get caught up in a duel. I want to give her one more chance. I went 6, 8, 9, and 2. You like Karak's speed from the rail, but this is a race where you could use several in multiple race wagers.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's a pretty tough race, and I'll be interested to see how they bet it and see where the real value in the race lies. I like Karak, though. I like her getting back on turf here. And again, I just think her most recent turf race at the end of last year. I think she ran a lot better than it looks.
Wide open. Mike's going 2.459. I'm going 6.892. It's the Coronation Cup, and it's 100 grander as your DRF race of the day for Friday. Race number 9 is an approximate post time of 5:46 Eastern. Good luck.